Hello and welcome to this video series called The Ladder, a love letter to my sisters in the pew. This is one of 18 videos that are streaming on YouTube, intended to be teaching sessions. They come from my book, The Ladder, a love letter to my sister in the pew. It is available on Amazon for $9.99 and on Kindle for 99 cents. I'm trying to make this as accessible to you as possible. If not, I hope that you are able to still watch the videos and gain some teaching from it. I do hope that you feel empowered and encouraged. It is not my goal to try and convince you of anything, but I pray that you hear that you are loved and valued by God, that you are smart and you have a mind and can figure out what's best for you and in the lens of what God has for your life. So we're already on session 17 and to the point where we are recapping. So we're going to recap the 4 truths. We've actually gone over all of these in different formats, but I'm putting them all together in a 4 truths format. What I came to understand is that it's important to accept all 4 of these steps in order to move forward and heal. So that's where we're at. The first step is that it is abuse. And I'm going to page 31 to start that. This is from my book, page 31, if you're following along. Truth number 1. Men like my husband, and maybe like your husband too, I don't know, but if this is true, then this is you, are abusive. Just because the word is difficult to accept doesn't make it any less true. Healing starts with this knowledge that his behavior is abuse. And I'm going to go to 64 and 65 just because there's some terminology there that we're going to review, even though it's kind of hard. So yeah, this is on 64. There are multiple words used to describe abuse, and I'm just going to read through some of it. It's a hard read or a hard hear, but I think it's important to hear it, even though it's hard. Doesn't make it any less true. The word abuse is defined as to use something or someone to bad effect or bad purpose, to treat a person or animal with cruelty or violence, and to speak in an insulting or offensive way about someone. I thought it was interesting that the word abuse talks about speaking and treating someone, and I always think of it as physical abuse, but there's definitely abuse means a lot more than that. Toxic is a very harmful or unpleasant in a pervasive or insidious way. Oppressor, and this is the word Darby Strickland uses in her book on her teachings about abuse. Since God speaks so strongly against those who are oppressed, she uses the word oppressor, and it means to keep someone in subservience and hardship, especially by unjust exercise of authority. And then domestic violence is violent or aggressive behavior within the home, typically involving a violent spouse or partner. And then coercive control, which I really like that word. As I've shared before, it's something that I hadn't heard of until more recently, but I just think it does a really good job of describing the home life of someone who is enduring this behavior. It says domestic abuse in which the perpetrator subjects a spouse to a sustained pattern or repeated acts of controlling, threatening, or humiliating behavior. So there's some definitions. So first, just accepting that it is abuse. That's where you got to start. You got to say, oh, okay, I get it, I don't like it, but this behavior is not okay, it is abusive. Second is that I am not the cause. So page 31. Okay, so the wife does not cause the behavior of her husband. Yes, my husband had a problem, but I was not the cause. Even though I definitely felt like I must be, because clearly this isn't normal. This is some more from Darby Strickland, who I absolutely love. The abuse is not your fault. Abusive behavior is inexcusable. It is not the result of your words, actions, or inactions. Nothing you could do could make you deserve or be responsible for abusive treatment. Nothing ever. Go Darby. Okay. And then, so you are not the cause. You're not the cause of this behavior. Number 3, you are not required to endure. Not required to endure. So page 32, back to 32. This is the third truth. The wife is not called by God to endure. As I stated earlier, it is interesting to me that I believe no matter how bad things were, that I had no out, period, end of story. I knew that I had to stay forever, end of story. And I go in my book here of how I finally felt God was going, go, 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 and I heard his voice. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself into the weeds of the rest of this. But I had absolutely no doubt that I had to stay and I had no other options. But I find that fascinating that I thought that. I thought that God wanted me to endure. And why I thought that is fascinating and disturbing at the same time. And this is truly why, the heart of why I did this. So again, quoting Darby Strickland, you may be thinking, so what? My husband is abusive. I'm married, so this is what I have to put up with. Or, God hates divorce, so this is my reality. But then she says, you are not called to submit to or accept rampant destructive behavior. God does not tell you to put up with an unrepentant sinner. So, truth 3, you are not required to endure. And truth 4, I cannot fix him, which we've gone over lots before again, but I just am reviewing the 4 truths. The wife cannot fix him. This is continued on 32. The wife cannot fix him. If she did not cause the abuse, she certainly cannot fix it. But this is not an uncommon misconception. The basic answer is that it is not a marriage problem. The wife is married to a man who has an abuse problem. This is why nothing the wife can do can fix the problem, and also why marriage counseling doesn't fix it either. Strickland explains that addressing abuse as a marriage problem causes further hurt, and also says counseling will not improve the marriage and can actually empower further abuses. So most assuredly, it is evident that the wife is not the cause of the abuse, is not required to endure the abusive behavior, and cannot fix it or put an end to the abuse. I put here, who can? And I just want to mention who can fix your husband or who can help him. I don't know, but not you. It's not your job. If the pastor wants to come alongside and counsel him, or if he wants to go find a group to be a part of, or if he wants to do some counseling, that's okay. If someone wants to come alongside him, if he's got family that wants to come alongside him and love him, let them. But that was one thing I had to come to understand, is I thought for so many years was my job, and I couldn't fix him, and I finally realized it's not my job to fix him. And if someone else wants to help them, that's okay. Let them. Step out of the way and let them. But it's not you. What did I have on page 11 that I wanted to go? Oh, this is just, again, from Darby Strickland. I just keep sharing from her stuff. It's important to understand that a good-willed wife is not able to change the heart of an abusive husband, and yet so often the church treats her that she can. Significant failings occur when we, the church, impose what we know about healthy relationships on an abusive marriage and think that the victim is valued by her spouse and can influence him for good. We believe that she can behave in such a way that will stop the abuse. This simply is not true. No amount of doing it right will enable the victim to end the abuse. So, that's a recap. The 4 truths. It is abuse. It stinks, but it is. You are not the cause. Nothing you do is causing the behavior. You are not required to endure the abuse, and it is not your job to fix it. So, there's the 4 truths. I pray that if this is in your situation and this is you, I pray for your journey. I pray that God can come alongside you and help you. I pray that you have someone in your life that can help you as you slowly over time accept these 4 truths if you want. If this is not for you, I pray that you flush it and let it go. But if it is for you, if this is something that will help you, I just pray that God is softening your heart in showing you the 4 truths. Thanks. Bye for now.